In response to a fairly widespread criticism of Amazon's announcement of where their 2 upcoming additional headquarters will be put, Fox News' Tucker Carlson found himself siding with an unexpected ally, as you'll see.
Well, new Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had this to say today, quote, Amazon is a billion-dollar company. The idea that it will receive hundreds of millions of dollars in tax breaks at a time when our subway is crumbling and our communities need more investment, not less, is extremely concerning to residents here. Hate to admit it, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has a very good point.
Oh, damn, she's won over Tucker. And she did have a great point. What's that?
Okay, first of all, of course she had a great point. And we haven't talked about this whole stunt with Amazon much on the main show, and we'll get to that in just a second. But understand that Tucker Carlson is not the good guy. He's got his.
No, but he just agreed with her.
No, he agreed with her, but he agreed with her for the wrong reasons, and I'll explain that in a second. It seems like you want to say something really quickly.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, he's a white nationalist. He spreads lies about white genocide, stuff like that.
No,
he's
but
not great.
But no, it goes beyond that. So with Tucker Carlson, I mean, he can't just out of nowhere start attacking corporations as if he's been like a real fighter for the working class and the middle class in America. No, he is the typical pick yourself up by the bootstraps, stop crying. I don't want to hear about wealth inequality. I don't want to hear about income inequality. People just want handouts and entitlements kind of guy. That's who Tucker Carlson is. The only reason why he has gone after Amazon, and aggressively so, is because he thinks of Amazon as this liberal Silicon Valley organization and nothing more. That's really why he keeps attacking them. He had done a segment on Amazon previously. I talked about it on my show, No Filter, which you guys should check out, Apple Podcasts. And he kept mentioning liberal. Yeah. First of all, these executives at Silicon Valley are not really liberal. When it comes to fiscal policy, when it comes to most issues, they're not liberal. Sure, they might be socially liberal, but when it comes to the real problems in America, they don't want to solve those problems. Jeff Bezos does not want to solve those problems. He loves income and wealth inequality. He's benefited from it, he's exploited it. So again, Tucker Carlson is not concerned about the heart of this matter. He's more concerned about the identity politics behind it.
Yes, my hope is that if he does start to talk about this, thanks to people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, he will prime his viewers to, in the future, think about, hey, yeah, isn't it kind of weird that we give billions of dollars to literally the biggest corporation in the history of the world?
I should hope
That's
so.
my hope. That's my hope. But so he gave credit to her for what she expressed in that tweet. We have other things that she said. She goes in depth into why this is unlikely, the fact that one of these new headquarters will be put in her district, why it's unlikely to actually help. You can follow her on Twitter. She goes in depth into the different ways that it's just gonna force out the people that are living there right now. It's gonna massively gentrify. They're gonna build luxury condos, which is great for people who can afford them, not so great for the people that live there now. She goes super in depth, you should follow her. But I want to talk about what was actually given to Amazon to go into the locations where they did.
Yes.
So New York has promised Amazon $1.525 billion in incentives, including $1.2 billion over the next 10 years as part of the state's Excelsior tax credit. The state also pledged to help Amazon with infrastructure upgrades, job training programs, and even assistance securing access to a helipad, none of which came with a price tag. Yes. New York taxpayers are subsidizing a billionaire's helipad. It's like a plot out of like a Batman comic. But they're doing that. They have just shoveled so much money for every one of those jobs. They say 25,000 jobs are coming. Theoretically, that might be true, but as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez pointed out on Twitter, who knows if those are gonna be jobs for the people there, if they're gonna be shipping people over to work there. They're gonna be paying a gigantic sum of money for those jobs.
There are so many parts of this to tackle, but the part that stands out to me the most is what this means for housing prices in the area. I mean,
they're doomed.
It's one thing for Amazon to make a decision to have its second headquarters. This is the second headquarters, right?
It's HQ, so it was going to be the second headquarters, but now it's 2 headquarters simultaneously being built in addition. Yes.
Exactly, okay, so it would have made much more sense, because remember, the selling point for local lawmakers was, well, they're gonna offer six-figure jobs. Like people are gonna get paid $100,000. And that's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money in the DC area. It's not a lot of money in New York City. And it is going to increase property values in those areas. And for those who own property in those areas, I'm sure that's great. But for people who are currently renting, people who are already having a difficult time affording housing in those areas, it's gonna become impossible at this point. So that's one of the biggest issues. And these little tax goodies for a company that's already so incredibly profitable. I mean, the richest man is the head of Amazon. I don't understand why it is that taxpayers need to subsidize businesses and corporations that are already tremendously profitable. What about actually doing the right thing and subsidizing small businesses? You know, oftentimes when we have conversations about wages and how we need to increase the minimum wage, small businesses are usually against it because they will suffer under that type of policy, because a lot of those businesses can't afford to increase the minimum wage for their workers. And I know that through talking to small business owners here in Los Angeles. So a solution to that is to help subsidize those businesses, not help subsidize profitable corporations like Amazon.
Yeah, or the infrastructure in the area, or education in the area, or all of those other issues. Like, the strike back against what we're saying right now seems easy for some of the right. Why are you guys against jobs? As if that is the only thing that's important. This is a huge, huge quantity of money. There is an opportunity cost to that. It's literally an opportunity cost of $1.525 billion. Think of all of the things that could do to fix, the subway system and all of that, let alone all of the other things. And so you don't just get these jobs and lose nothing. You lose quite a bit. And thankfully now we have politicians who are pointing that out.
Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.